What are some of the qualities or the capacities that you think are critical for leaders in this journey that they need to develop?
Well, watching some networks that have grown, that have really sustained deep change efforts over long periods of time, the ability to listen to people who see things differently, that we all naturally have a bias for our way of seeing things, but we may also be wrong, and we certainly don't see the whole system. Nobody does. So developing that ability to cultivate relationships amongst different people. It's one thing for a bunch of people who all kind of agree on most things to work together. It's quite different than you have a social justice NGO person over here who really hates big corporations, and a person over here from a big corporation who both have a real impact on the food system, and they have to actually learn to work together. That's almost never happens, but we've seen that happen now over a decade with the Global Sustainable Food Laboratory, extraordinary networks of collaboration amongst very different people. That's a real determined commitment and a journey of real deep transformation.
So if you were to talk about your own journey, how did, in your personal journey, if it's okay asking, how did you actually engage in your own personal development? What have been some of the key people that influence or schools of thought that have inspired your own path of personal development?
Well, I think one of the great gifts in life is teachers. And I've had the good fortune to have extraordinary teachers. When I first came to MIT, I knew I was really interested in systems and large-scale social issues, urban development, poverty, the environmental crisis, which was just starting to be understood then. And I had the good fortune to then have a teacher for 10 years named Jay Forster, who was developing this whole methodology for understanding complex systems, which no one else in the world was doing at that time. So it was just my good fortune to be there and to be able to work together for 10 years. And later, when that work was really kind of starting to be integrated into all the things we did, I had the good fortune to find a teacher in China who was also very famous in China, an eminent, what they would call in China, Chan, Zen master, Taoist master, Confucian scholar, who then became teacher for about 15 years. So I think that's been just my good fortune. But I think also, if I was really to be objective about it, I'd say probably no coincidence. I was really looking, knowing that I needed help, I needed development, both on the, you might say, the intellectual skills. I mean, learning how to write was brutal. Jay was a really tough teacher, learning how to write really well. Learning how to kind of develop some of the basics of a really good meditation practice. It was really a tough journey. So I think at just at different stages I knew I needed something, and then I had the good fortune of finding teachers who could help.